Hello students, in the earlier method we have seen what is impulse invariance as well as what is meant by the approximation of derivative while designing the digital IR filters. Now we are going to study what is BLT method. So BLT, this stands for bilinear transformation method. So the basic advantage for this method is we have seen that in case of the impulse invariance method, it does shows the appearance only many to 1, but here this particular method will show the appearance as a 1 to 1 mapping. So that's why this method is preferred over the impulse invariance. In case of the BLT, the mapping is 1 to 1 from S domain to Z domain. So there is no aliasing effect as such, which we have seen in case of the impulse invariance. So here the exact opposite circuit to that of the impulse invariance is considered. So in case of the impulse invariance method, we have seen we considered it with the example of differentiator, but right now for this method we are considering it as a integrator circuit. So let's say there is one integrator which accept the input, let's say x of t, and the integrator circuit will integrate it and convert it into the y of t. So ultimately the transfer function for this particular integrator block means for this entire circuitry, that is nothing but HA of s, which is equal to 1 upon s. So this is what the equation, we can say equation number 1 for the integrator circuit. Now when we consider, let's say for this circuit a certain time period t, then the difference in the output is given with this particular manner, that is y of t2 minus y of t1, which is nothing but equal to integration, let's say it is ranging from t1 to t2 instant, x of nts, and it is with respect to the t. So this is how this particular integral can be solved. So for plotting exactly the blocks for the integrator's output with respect to input, let's say x of t is the input with respect to time. If it is plotted, let's assume that this is what one of the waveform which we got. So at this particular time instant, let's say it is t1, I got this particular point. So at t2 I will just show it here. So this is what the t2 instant. So I got here the output, let's say it is y of t2 and this is y of t1. So obviously this particular time is nothing but the time ts. So here this, if someone just verify, this is x of t1 and this is nothing but x of t2. Now this is giving ultimately the entire time duration as nts over here. Now if we want to substitute all these values in terms of this particular equation, so this will give ultimately the values like y of t2 minus y of t1, it is equal to 1 by 2 t2 minus t1 into x of t2 minus x of t1 plus x of t1 into t2 minus t1. Now this particular equation, when we solve it for, let's say t2 minus t1 is nothing but ts. Similarly nts minus ts, that is the time period t1. So this can be further replaced with the values, and ultimately by solving it we will get the output in terms of the nts. Let me write the output like this: y of nts minus y of nts minus ts, which is equal to ts by 2 x of nts plus x of nts minus ts. So this is how the equation will be obtained. Now taking the Z transform on both sides for this equation, let's say it is equation number 2. So Z transform on both sides will give the output as y of z minus z inverse y of z, which is equal to ts by 2. This is again x of z. Let's assume ts equal to 1 over here only for this particular cases. So this is plus z inverse x of z. Now on solving this, by taking 1 minus z inverse common from this term, it will become y of z, and this is nothing but ts by 2. So I will just take the x of z common from this term, so remaining term will be 1 plus z inverse, and here it is 1 minus z inverse. So this is how this is simply rearranged. Now let's arrange it in terms of the y of z by x of z, because that is what the ultimately thing which we need to do, because it is nothing but the transfer function for the digital filter. So y of z by x of z is nothing but ts by 2. So this is what we need to write. So ts by 2. Here it will be what? 1 plus z inverse as it is on the right side, and this 1 minus z inverse will be coming over here. So it will be 1 minus z inverse. So this is nothing but the overall, we can say, h of z. That is the transfer function of the digital filter. This is how it is simply written. Now the term which we started with, that is nothing but HA of S. If you just remember, it is nothing but 1 upon S. That is what the equation 1. Now when we compare it with, let's say, equation number 3, this particular equation, then ultimately we can sense out here that the relation between the S plane and the Z plane is given with the help of the equation S is equal to 2 by Ts. This is nothing but 1 plus Z inverse, 1 minus Z inverse divided by 1 plus Z inverse. So someone may write it like 2 by Ts into Z minus 1 by Z plus 1. This is how this substitution will be done for S to replace in the Z domain. Now already we know what is S. So as we know, S is nothing but, every time we have seen that S, that is the Laplace operator, can be splitted. S is equal to sigma plus j ohm, and Z is already, it is done in the earlier section. It is nothing but Z is equal to R into e raised to j omega. So for this particular equation, so here we can say that from this particular equation, that is S is equal to 2 by Ts Z minus 1, if we just substitute this term, it will give ultimately to us what exactly the relation can be formed. So let's proceed for calculating it further. So here I will just put the left hand side is nothing but S, so replace it with the sigma plus j ohm is equal to, right hand side is 2 by Ts, in the bracket it was Z minus 1, so it will be replaced by R e raised to j omega minus 1 divided by R e raised to j omega plus 1. So let's have the cross multiplication with the help of the denominator by replacing R e raised to j omega plus 1. So this is R e raised to j omega plus 1. Now this particular task will give us the values like, after substitution, like sigma plus j ohm over here. So this is 2 by Ts as it is. Now the numerator will be simply multiply this, so it will become R square e raised to j omega plus into e raised to minus j omega. So this will be ultimately R square plus R e raised to j omega minus r e raised to minus j omega minus 1. So this is how the numerator can be simplified, because this e raised to j omega into e raised to, this is actually minus j omega. Let's write it here, minus j omega. So it will give the contrast value, that is nothing but the 0. So e raised to 0 will be 1. So that is why it is written here 1. Now once this is done, the denominator can be simplified in the same way with the help of the statement, that is r square e raised to j omega. Again here it will be forming e raised to j omega into e raised to minus j omega, so it will result in a e raised to 0, that is 1, plus r e raised to j omega plus r e raised to minus j omega, because it is multiplied with the 1, this is also multiplied with the 1. So let's write it as it is. So 1 into 1, that will be 1. So this is how it will reduce to the denominator value. Now let's have the simple trigonometric identity, that is sin omega can be written as a e raised to j omega minus e raised to minus j omega by 2j, as well as the cos omega can be written as e raised to j omega plus e raised to minus j omega by 2. So by putting these identities in the mind, if we just readjust the terms at the denominator and numerator, it can be written like sigma plus j ohm is equal to 2 by ts. This is r square minus 1 plus j 2r e raised to j omega. This can be written as, directly we can write, but let's simplify it, e raised to j omega minus e raised to minus j omega by 2j. This is the sine term just by readjusting. Similarly, just multiply by 2j and divide by 2j. Similarly, at the denominator, r square plus 2r, this is e raised to j omega plus e raised to minus j omega by 2. So multiply by 2 and divide by 2. So this is how this term will become. Now let's put the values. So this will be nothing but, which we can sense out here, it is 2 by ts. The values can be written as a r square minus 1 plus 2j r sin omega, because this is what the term which we have seen over here, this is sin omega. Now once we write it here, let's write for the denominator also. So it will be nothing but r square plus 2r cos omega plus 1. Now after solving this in a specific way, let's compare it with the side on the left hand side, that is sigma plus j ohm. So we will just compare here the right hand side and left hand side so as to get the real and imaginary term. So sigma will be equal to 2 by ts into r square minus 1 by r square plus 2r cos omega plus 1. Similarly, ohm will be what? It is nothing but 2 by ts into 2r sin omega. Remember, here we are writing the complex term, that is what, jth term for ohm. So this will be r square plus 2r cos omega plus 1. So with the discussion we can just summarize this, how the mapping will be done for S to Z plane. So this is all about the bilinear transformation method, which is doing the mapping as a one-to-one and quite advantageous over the impulse invariance. So thank you everyone, thank you very much.